I'm going to take the first impulse swing. For me, that is literally the moment it opens. I'm looking at anything that can show me the first impulse swing. Now, from there, I'm taking that first initial level and seeing what I can have here. So I have two levels here, but 329 and 241, and looking to see whether or not this can get down to 50 cents. So ultimately, if this was any other stock, I would be expecting it to complete a benchmark cycle, which would mean breaking out of manipulation area or an area of accumulation. And if it does, then I'm expecting to target 1, target 2, and target 3. And these decrease in probabilities. This has about an 80 to 90% chance if you break out of this area of hitting it. This goes down to about 70 and this comes down to about 65, obviously depending on what products you have. So you can see there, my first trade on this would have been from 443 down to 330. So that would have been a nice trade on the first day of the open. It then hits target 2. It doesn't go all the way down, surely. So no, it hasn't quite got down there to date yet. That's how I would trade that first open on TWG opening day. Now, obviously, if you've not got that, then what else can we do? The other thing we can do is wait and play the momentum trade. The other thing we can do is wait and play the momentum trade. So the momentum trade is going to be a tough one. You're going to have to let the first few minutes go at least, but the momentum trade is the first pullback for me that comes into these moving averages, which is the 4 EMA and the 9 EMA. You have to wait 9 bars for the 9 and 4 bars for them to show. But here you can see the 4 EMA takes control pretty much straight from on the color game. So you don't want to let this kind of consolidation go for any more than really 5 1-minute bars. And you're looking for the red candle to be taken out by the green candle. That is what we get there. So you can be short at 481 and target is just following the stair steppers. So you get another kind of entry here and then that's it down. You double bottom. If you close above, then you're out. There's not for the consolidation momentum play. That's it. So assuming you're not looking at reading the tape or anything else to see bidders coming in at 4.5, which is pretty much your half round number, that's you can wait. And if you close above here at 470, then you're out of the trade. You can, Deanna, I guess you, from your perspective on this, you'd be pulling a potential fib from 550 to the lows and looking for, you know, that golden area that you could play, right?
I'd be looking for a little bit more price action to show up. Just like you said, I do want to see some kind of a break, some kind of liquidity taken. Once that liquidity is taken, then looking for a break and then a fib. So I agree with you in general. This is a little bit too early for me to be trading this. I would consider an IPO, you know, within the first year and a half, but definitely not this early on, personally.
Gotcha. Understood. The other thing you can do then on here is wait for a kind of level to be built up and tested more than just once. So here is a nice level that's actually being defended. 450 is being defended by the bidders at this point. At the point that that breaks is a decent place to get in. Again, you can play that color change as it moves back to either the 20 moving average here, because this is the second play now. It's kind of playing out further into the day. So don't necessarily go with the first set of moving averages. You can go with the 20 moving average now, and similar thing again. You wait for that color change and the close below that. If you're not just trading the break, then you can take that second one. And again, you can play it down either to the next half or round number down to 350, and 350 gets defended there again. And I think, yeah, it goes again. So that's pretty much why I have these moving averages on here. If I'm going to take plays with anything else, or I'm just looking for other plays that would be used, it's kind of the first instance, I'm looking to take the momentum play. The second instance, I'm waiting for a pullback to the 20 EMA. And for the third instance, I'm looking for a pullback to kind of the 55 EMA on that one here. So as close as they can get for a color change to occur, you can play that to the downside again. Alternatively, you can use an anchored VWAP, and you can use this going into the next day as well. So you could, I've mentioned kind of yesterday and the day before on the NASDAQ, I anchor VWAP on economic releases that have your impact on the market, right? So if they've had a big impulse move on that first hour of the news release and it stays down there, if it's just a wick up and a wick down, I'm not interested. If it literally moves for 1 hour or 2 hours solid down, closes, and then meanders to the side, then I'm anchoring a VWAP to that. So it's a major kind of economic news release or event. And the same here. This is the first day of the stock. So I'm just kind of using the VWAP from the off. So from the off, you can see that we are coming straight into the VWAP there. So any kind of color change here as well, you can get short. And then in this case, let's take this one off. You can target the bands below it. Okay, so from here, you can get in, it's kind of 480 under the close. And then your first target can come off at 464, or you can trail those moving averages as well until you get to your target too. But then you come off so far from that, there isn't much more pullback to the VWAP itself, so you can play the bands and the moving averages at the same time. So any kind of confluence between the two, you can add to or up a new position. Here you can see we come down, we hit another target onto the band, we come up above the yellow here. This is the second kind of deviation from the VWAP, and then we close under it again. That close under it you can take advantage of. It's also playing off the 20 EMA that we mentioned earlier. It's a nice bit of confluence there to get short at 410, and just don't expect anything more than the next band down right on day one. You just can target that band down and just follow it through on the way down. So that's how I would play that. And then let's just have a quick look at Reddit, because that was one that we all played on the day. So you can see here how I played that. I was kind of waiting for that push up. I actually took this first candle, that spread. See, it's got a big wick on it. So it effectively runs up to 51.65. Then it pulls back to 48.95. And I'm taking that spread. And then I expect the best execution to hold it. So my best execute, that was the yellow line on there. So my best execution price for people to sell into this rally was at 55.45, 55.14. And you can see we kind of wicked up above that. So just like we do on the benchmarks, we start wicking up above it. The first thing I'm doing is drawing in that sell side liquidity pool. If it holds, I get that rejection, then I'm trying to get short, hoping that best execution level, which gets tapped a couple of times. And all that means is there's shorts coming in at that level. So the shorts come in that level. My target is down here at the buy side liquidity, just like anything else. And that would be me out for the day. If we was going to look again at anything else, nothing to do here because you haven't got any moving averages to play with. And then it starts to roll over in any case. So still nothing to do with this lot. You need some angle on it. And about here is the first time you can say, all right, let's see what we have. We're waiting for a color change. So here we want to see a green bar. There's the green bar. We can play the red below at 51.57, and then we're taking that down until we get a close up here at 50.16. So there's only about 50 cents in that play for you following that strategy. But then there's the next one. So you've taken the yellow moving averages. Now we'll take the 21 EMA and we'll play the color game there. So here we go. There is green, red, green. There's the red that closes below at 50.63, and you can take that down short as well. And there's a couple of plays on that. I only really take the first one. Let's see if we get, and we don't actually get, there's not enough time in for these to become, it's kind of an indication there could have been an entry there before it goes off sideways into the close. For taking those plays on, if we put the VWAP on this one, here you can see we kind of use those bands to support and resistance here, ignoring the red boxes here. Let's move these off. So ignoring that, I'd be waiting for, so we crash straight through the VWAP here. So I'm waiting for the VWAP pullback. So that'll be around here. If you're anticipating that's not quite, but the color change again, it'll be this bar here, this time at 50.63. And again, targeting either 49.52, or you can let it carry on with the moving averages down to the next band. I would leave the anchor on as well for Reddit. So I'd anchor that VWAP, which on the first day is obviously going to be the same. But day two, that anchored VWAP is going to remain the big blue one. And you can look for that to act as support and resistance further down the line then. So I'd leave that on my chart for quite a while, whether it be economic news or whether it be an IPO. So yeah, just looking for that to give me the direction. So all the whilst I'm under it, I'm not really taking shorts. If I can confirm clearly above it and start to get some angle on price action, meaning the moving averages kind of start to align as well, start to at least have your kind of 30-degree angle, then that's the point I'm kind of thinking right here. That would be a nice long to see if I could get it. And then I'm playing the moving average game to see if I can get pullbacks to these 55 moving averages as they move along up. Where is Reddit now? Let's have a look at a higher time frame. Yeah, so Reddit went up again, and you see here closed below that event VWAP, essentially pulled back to it here, and again went sell side. That's the actual volume weighted average from the IPO. So we can see if we pull back to this, look out for that 53 area to act as resistance for Reddit. If it can break above its IPO VWAP, then there is somewhere to go to the upside on Reddit. But until it does that, it's just trying to see if we can grind off these lows.